All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful and maybe one of the most confusing tools in sports betting, the Asian over-under. I know it looks a little weird, but stick with me. In just a few minutes, I promise you'll get it, and it'll give you a serious leg up. Let's dive in. Have you ever been scrolling through the odds, seen a line like over 2.25, and just thought, what in the world is that? How can a team score a quarter of a goal? Yeah, it's a super common question, and today we're going to make it make sense. But here's the good news. You are definitely not alone, and it's so much simpler than it looks. We're going to break this whole thing down piece by piece, and by the end, you'll see how this knowledge can give you a real, tangible edge in your betting. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get down to the basic idea of what these Asian totals even are. Then we'll walk through the easy ones, the whole goals and half goals, before we tackle the big one, the quarter goal. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can actually use it. Okay, so what's the big deal with Asian totals anyway? What really separates them from the regular bets you're used to? Well, it all comes down to one simple but really powerful difference. Think about a normal over-under bet. It's black and white, right? You either win or you lose, that's it. But Asian totals, they introduce this crucial gray area. You can actually get your money back, or sometimes you only win or lose half of your bet. That flexibility, well, that's the whole game. Now listen up, because this is the single most important thing to remember, especially when we get to those tricky quarter goal bets. Just burn this into your brain. With Asian totals, your stake is often split into two separate smaller bets. If you can grasp that one idea, you've unlocked the entire concept. So let's start with the easiest one of the bunch, the whole goal line. I like to think of this as a bet that comes with its own built-in safety net. Let's use an Asian over 2 as our example. If there are 3 or more goals in the game, you win. Simple. 0 or 1 goal, you lose. But here's the magic part. If the game ends with exactly 2 goals, you don't lose your money. Your entire stake is just refunded back to you. We call that a push or a void. This table lays it out perfectly. See that middle column labeled void? That's your safety net. It takes a ton of the risk out of the bet. It's a huge advantage you should be aware of. And of course, if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser. Okay, next up is the half goal line. This one is going to feel a whole lot more familiar to you. The Asian over 2.5 is basically the exact same thing as the standard over-under 2.5 bet you see everywhere. I mean, a team can't score half a goal, right? So the final score can never land exactly on 2.5. That means it's a straight-up win-or-lose bet. No pushes, no voids, no funny business. And as you can see here, it's about as simple as it gets. 2 goals or fewer, the under wins. 3 goals or more, the over wins. It's clean, it's simple, and there's no middle ground. Okay, deep breath. Now for the main event, the part that confuses almost everybody, but also the part that can give you the biggest edge once you get it, the quarter goal line. Don't worry, I'm going to make this really, really simple. Hey, remember that one key principle I told you to burn into your brain a minute ago? Well, this is where it pays off big time. The big secret to any quarter goal bet is just that your stake is automatically being split across 2 different bets. That's it. Let's just take an Asian over 2.25. The number itself is the clue. It sits exactly halfway between 2 and 2.5, right? So when you place that bet, the bookmaker automatically splits your money. Half of it goes on an Asian over 2, and the other half goes on a regular over 2.5. So let's say you bet $10 on over 2.25. What's really happening is you're placing 2 different bets, a $5 bet on over 2 and another $5 bet on over 2.5. Once you start seeing it that way, figuring out the results is a piece of cake. Let's walk through it. If there are 3 or more goals, both of your little $5 bets win. You get a full payout. If there is 1 goal or none, both bets lose. But here's the interesting part. What happens if there are exactly 2 goals? Well, your over 2.5 bet loses, but your over 2 bet is a push. It gets voided. So you only lose half your stake and you get the other half back. We call that a half loss. And the beautiful thing is, the exact same logic applies to an over 2.75 bet. You can probably guess how this one is split, right? It's right there in the name. It's halfway between 2.5 and 3, so your stake gets split between an over 2.5 bet and an Asian over 3 bet. So in this case, if there are exactly 3 goals, your over 2.5 part of the bet is a winner, but your over 3 part is a push. This creates a half win where you get paid out on half your stake and the other half is just returned to you. Understanding these half win and half loss scenarios is what separates the pros from the amateurs. And of course, now that you know how they work, if you're looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser. Okay, so you get the mechanics. That's the how. Now let's talk about the most important part, the why. Why should you actually use these bets? Let's talk strategy. The advantages are pretty clear. You're reducing your overall risk with those push and half loss options. You're getting way more flexibility than just a simple win or lose bet. And where these things really shine is as a tool for live in-play betting, when the game is changing every second. Just imagine a game is sitting at 1-0 late in the second half. Betting on something like over 1.25 could be a brilliant move. If it ends 1-0, you only lose half your stake. But if that one late goal comes, boom, you get a full win. It lets you react to the game's momentum while still managing your risk. Now, to apply strategies like this one, if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser to find some great options. So, there you have it. You've got the tools, you know the rules. The real question now is, how are you going to use them? How is this new way of looking at risk and flexibility going to change your approach to the next game you watch? It's a powerful new weapon in your arsenal. Thanks for tuning in.